Greetings, dreamers. This is Kimberly, your personal travel specialist from Dreams to Travel, where we turn dreams into travel. I know that everyone is dreaming of their next vacation, and of course, so am I. I am going to be returning to Jamaica soon. Soon come, as they say, and I needed to complete my travel authorization. So I wanted to show you an example of how to complete that for entry into Jamaica. My disclaimer: this is for information purposes only, to be used as an example. Please make sure that you are reading the content on the website and applying the information to your situation. So let's get started. If you do not remember the name of the site, you can always Google, because Google is our friend. So we're just going to type in Jamaica Travel Authorization, which pops up, and we're going to hit enter. And what we want is this particular site here, the one that says Visit Jamaica. So when we click on that site, what comes up is the question regarding your residency. So again, you need to make sure that you are completing this to your situation. And anyone who is planning to visit Jamaica 12 years old and older, that is the person who needs to have a travel authorization. So let's go ahead and get started. So, do I live in Jamaica? No, I do not. And what comes up is our welcome screen that is appropriate for my residency. So with this, you want to make sure that you have a couple pieces of information with you. Your first document that you need will be your passport. You will need this information because the name and passport number needs to match what is indicated on your passport. So you need to get that document. The second document that you'll need is your itinerary. You'll need flight information, and you'll also need where you are staying, that address. So take a moment, if you have not already, go ahead and get those documents so that you'll be able to complete this in a timely manner. So, getting started, it's going to ask you for an email, and with that email, it's going to send you a one-time pass so that you can complete your documentation. So I have an email that I have created just for this training purpose. And so we're going to use that. Before we verify this email, what we want to do is, I'm going to scroll down so that you can see what the steps are to complete your travel authorization process. So the first thing, of course, is submitting the application, and that's what we're doing now. Once you submit it, it will be reviewed. After the review, you will receive in your email whether or not it has been approved. Once it's approved, then you'll have that. You can either print it off and place it with your documentation, or you can use it electronically. You need to complete this within 5 days of your travel to Jamaica. The last part, you need to make sure that you get your COVID test for entry into Jamaica, and that is within 3 days. So we're going to go back up, and we're going to click, we have read and we agree with the policy, and we're going to receive our one-time pass. So it should come to your email, and that password, you're going to type that in to verify. So once that has been verified, as you can see, I have completed one, but I'm going to show you how. So you're going to come through and you should come to a screen that looks like this. So initially, you will receive this. I have completed mine already, so I'm going to walk you through this whole process. So the first thing is, who are you completing this form for? And again, you can either complete it for yourself or for someone else. If you have a child that is not able to complete this, or if you have a senior that is traveling with you that is not able to complete this for themselves, you can complete it for them. Each person 12 years or older will need their own travel authorization. They can be under your email, but they need to have their own individual one. So the information I am going to put in, again, it should be identical to the information that is on your passport. Anything that has an asterisk beside it is required. For this training purposes, I am going to put in fictional information, but you need to make sure that you are putting in your correct information. All right, so for occupation, I have a lot of jobs. However, my primary job is in education. One thing you want to note with the date of birth, for the United States, we normally place our dates as the month, day, and then the year. But internationally with Jamaica, they do the day first. So day, month, and then year. Be very careful when you're entering this information in, either off the passport or, from memory. You want to make sure that you are placing the day, then the month, then the year. There have been instances where the authorization date did not match the passport when the travelers got to the location, and they had some issues entering. So make sure that you are doing this correctly. All right. Continuing on with our demographic information. So our intended date of travel, again, you want to make sure that you are completing this within 5 days of travel. If it's any earlier, the system will flag you and you will not be able to complete it. And then going on to our contact information. So again, when putting in your passport number, you want to make sure that you are typing this in very, very carefully and very correctly. There will be an opportunity to confirm, but you want to double and triple check before that happens. The purpose of our visit, of course, we're going on vacation, and then the mode of travel. This is also on your itinerary, so you want to make sure you have that with you. Traveling from the States, North Carolina. And we're flying into Montego Bay. The next part, when you are entering in your emergency contact, you want to make sure that that person knows that they are your emergency contact, so that they will not be shocked if something were to happen and they were contacted. Hopefully, you will have a wonderful vacation. Nothing happens, travel mercies, and you have the best time. However, if something should arise, they will be aware that they are being contacted. And then you will enter in the number of family members that are traveling with you. And then you'll come to your wellness screening. So if you have had to do any screening, say for instance for employment, you had to answer a series of questions regarding COVID-19. This is very similar to that. So you'll read, of course, the information regarding the health risk assessment, saying that you understand the information for fitness to travel, and then you will answer the questions. The first question: have you been diagnosed with or tested positive for COVID-19? That's no. Have you experienced or are you currently experiencing any symptoms? That's no. And have you been vaccinated against COVID-19? That is yes. I am fully vaccinated at this time. The next portion is your intended stay. So this is what I was referring to when you need to have your name of the hotel or resort, or if you're staying with someone through a private home, or if you're using one of the vendors like an Airbnb or Vrbo. So it'll give you a menu for the accommodation. You select the appropriate type, and then you select the appropriate area. If you're staying at a resort, it's going to pre-populate the address. However, if not, make sure you have that information. Can never be careful. Check and double check. All right, so we're done with that first page, so we're going to go ahead and submit. This is the confirmation that I was referring to. So it gives you an opportunity to make extra sure that you have created the accurate information and entered in the accurate information into your application. So you want to make sure, and you're checking your last name, your first name, your date of birth, and the passport number. When you have checked and you've confirmed and you see that everything is accurate, then you can go over here and click the confirm button. It will bring you to the second page, which is regarding your consent. And in this is the perfect time because you are acknowledging that you are entering Jamaica and that you understand that you are responsible for anything, any cost that may be incurred during your travel. So this is a great time to point out getting insurance for your travel. You protect your home, you protect your car, you protect your life. You need to protect your travel. So speak with your travel specialist. I know that myself and my colleagues, we do offer this when we present our packages. So when you're working with Dreams to Travel, you definitely will be offered travel protection. Most packages come with medical and some hospitalization coverage. There are some packages that also have a COVID-19 policy or a clause. So you want to make sure that you're speaking with your travel specialist to know what is in your insurance policy. And once you get that, please make sure that you read it. The consent also covers the health screening and risk assessment. It covers the testing for COVID-19. Remember, you have to have a negative result within 3 days of your travel. It also speaks to the resilient corridor, and this is where the hotel and resorts are located. Um, Anytime that you're working with Dreams to Travel, we work with only the resorts and the hotels that are in the resilient corridor. So you will be able to uh, rest assured that you are covered under that condition. And then it also speaks to any of the other laws that comply with that. So just make sure you read through that information before you click yes on that consent. The next part is your declaration. So you are declaring that the information that you have entered is true and accurate to the best of your knowledge. And then click next. The third page that comes up is with the quarantine order. And with that, this is just showing that this document is outlining what needs to happen for quarantine. This does not mean that you are going to be quarantined. This is just a document that you have to acknowledge that you have read through, you understand the conditions and the policies and the guidelines. If you are following the conditions and the policy and the guidelines, you should be able to move about in Jamaica. You will not be on lockdown. You will not be tied to your resort. Here is a list of companies. If you want to plan excursions, you can speak with your travel specialist and we can help you plan out and make sure that you are connected with those vendors that work with the COVID-19 process in Jamaica. So once you've read through this, then you have to sign and you'll click next. And this brings us to the last page. So if you've ever traveled to an international country and you've been on the airplane and the flight attendants, they hand you the little card and you have to complete that while you're on board before you go through customs. This is very similar to that information. So you have to dig in your pocketbook and find or your bag and find a pen or ask your neighbor. But this is online, so it pre-populates the information that you entered in previously. This is another opportunity to check and double check to make sure everything is correct. And then you're going to scroll down to indicate the number of pieces of luggage that you plan to take. So within your checked luggage and any that might be coming via air or sea freight. After that, you're going to make your declaration. So if you're bringing any fruit or plants or live animals, no, we're not going to do that. if you're bringing any chemicals or pharmaceuticals, we're not doing that. Illicit drugs or narcotics, we're not doing that. Radioactive or nuclear substances, no. Any ammunition, any guns, fireworks, or other weapons, that's a no. If you are taking any money over $10,000 in US, that's a no. If you are exceeding the value of anything that you're bringing for your personal duty-free allowance, that's a no. And then if you plan on selling any gifts or articles, that's a no. So once you've done that, you've completed pretty much all of the information that you have to enter into your travel authorization. You're going to enter in what you're bringing into the country. I am mainly bringing in clothes because it's vacation. So I'm just going to do that description of clothes. And then we're going to say the value is about $300 in US. Now you're going to make your declaration that all the information that you've given is true and correct. And if it is not, then there are consequences, and you understand that. So we're going to do that declaration. We are not a robot. And we're going to hit submit. Once you do that, then you get a confirmation that your application has been received and it's going into review, and you need to check for your approval documentation. So at this point, we're going to wait and see when our application documentation comes to our email. I hope this has been helpful, going through a step-by-step process on how you need to fill out your travel authorization for entry into Jamaica. If you need a travel specialist, we are here for you. When you are ready to book, so are we. We are ready to turn your dreams into travel. Thank you so much. Please take a moment to like and subscribe so that we can continue to bring you information on how to be a better traveler. Have a wonderful day. This has been Kimberly with Dreams to Travel, where we turn your dreams into travel. Greetings, dreamers. I just wanted to come right back on just as a quick check, just to let you know right after I submitted that information for the travel authorization, I immediately received an email that showed that the application was approved. So it doesn't take very long. Right after you submit the information, they review it and it's approved. Most likely it will be approved. So just make sure that you are watching out because it does come back relatively quickly. So just wanted to come back on, let you know that information, and wishing you big dreams and happy travels. And just remember, Kimberly, your personal travel specialist from Dreams to Travel, can turn your dreams into travel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you and have a wonderful day.